Apex, the peak of South African motoring.
How low can you go? Well, not that low, just of course nicely elevated.
Yeah, sitting nice and high.
Nice and high. But I keep saying, like, every time I'm like, because I've had the car for a couple of days now, and then every time I'm like, no, go fetch something out of the Polo. If I'm speaking to, and I'm like, oh, I'm in the Taigo. And then I was like, I don't know if it's a compliment for Polo or an insult for Taigo, because they're so similar. But I see the positive out of it.
Okay.
Because Polo is one of the best-selling cars in the country.
Yeah.
So there has to be positivity behind that. And the nice thing with the Taigo it is that first step into the SUV market, potentially for Polo buyers, because it's got that coupe style SUV styling.
It fits that space between the T-Cross and the T-Roc very well.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's higher up from the ground than the T-Roc as well. So, but I think, I mean, the Polo is one of the best selling cars. I think this one should sell well. It is pricey though. This one, we're sitting in the top spec model, the R-Line, and it has been kitted with a lot of extra items.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't tell you pricing, but I'm like, afterwards I'll like add something to our little YouTube description. It'll be a little clause, so this is the clause you guys must read. But yeah, so price is a standard 486.
Okay.
But this has got so many extras. So heated front seats, Beat sound system. Yeah, I also like why don't I only get 2 bars? I wish it was 3 bars. See, these small things that throw me over. Okay, cool. So panoramic sunroof, which is lekker. Comfort package, which is the rear view camera, keyless access, park assist. Look, a hell of a lot of extras.
Yeah.
Which will take that 486 to touch 600k.
Probably.
If it doesn't already.
Does it have the IQ Lite? With
yes, it does. The IQ driver package, and that is quite pricey.
Yeah.
Okay, so apart from that, I appreciate the fact that you can still get this as if you look at this as a base SUV, the price isn't that bad. You're under 500,000 Rand, you've got a hell of a reliable car, a great brand foundation behind you, so then it's not that bad. And if you want to, it's your choice whether you want to add all the optional extras and all of that. So yeah, I think as a base, good pricing, but you are going to want the extras.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got 85 kilowatts,
Okay.
200 newton meters of torque,
Okay.
ample for this car. Even though I want it, you'll feel it, like it's got nice power, but you just needed that little bit more torque, because it's got a substantially bigger body than a Polo. I don't want to keep bringing Polo into it, but I felt like it needed a little bit more torque. But other than that, I really like the design of it. Everything is clean. I would have preferred a little bit more, or shall I say a hell of a lot more soft touch. But other than that, like, it's a really good car. Like, it's everything, the layout of it works perfectly, the touchscreen is great. Seat heater works really well.
Yeah, it feels
and on that
very
note,
nice.
there we go. Maybe too well. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, I think what I like about it, I think the ride is, it feels soft. Of course the R-Line gets larger wheels and all of that, but it still feels very soft. You still have that bit of vibration coming through from the steering wheel when you pull away at low speeds, but that's usually owing to that one cylinder, one liter 3-cylinder engine. The gearbox isn't too bad, this DSG. The ride quality, it feels very soft. The handling, it's nice and light. especially at low speeds, which is nice. So I think it feels like a Volkswagen SUV. It feels like a Polo SUV, which it is. So I mean, it's the T-Cross, but a bit more stylish on the outside, and I think people will like that.
I think so as well. I think the Polo driver will much easier transition from a Polo or even a Golf to this if they want to go the
previous generation Golf want to get into something else.
I always thought like the T-Cross or that would kind of be an easy transition, but this looks kind of more like the coupe style,
which
SUV.
people love. I mean, when BMW introduced the X6, I mean, they were basically the pioneers with coupe style SUVs. I mean, Mercedes followed as well, Audi followed, Volkswagen with the Taigo, because I mean, this is the first T SUV, or the first SUV crossover in the T lineup with a sloping roofline, and I think it looks good. I like the little the housing for the rear light spanning the rear of the
it looks cool,
car.
It's such a nice look on the outside.
This one has that IQ light with the LED strip spanning the front grille, which I don't really mind, I don't really care for, but I think that's something that people will spec to the car because it just makes it look, I mean, it's more distinct. People will see it more, although you won't see it in the car. But I think it rides well. There's a bit of creaks ever so often. A
little bit of noise, but like exterior, like the cabin noise isn't. Like, especially on the highways, like you haven't had a chance to drive it there yet, then it is relatively quiet. The sound system has got that Beats sound system. Perfect. I'm a little bit embarrassed because like Shawn Mendes is on my thing, but that is not by choice. That was Apple's weekly top hits. So just in my defense, Leonard Cohen. But yeah, so other than that, it's like the sound is killer, and like you normally expect this kind of sound coming from like a Bang & Olufsen or those kind of sound systems. So it does what it needs to do and a little bit more. But yeah, there's not much to say about the car other than it is the perfect transition from a sedan or a hatchback to your very first SUV. The perfect transition.
I hear exactly what you're saying. And the one thing that I don't like as much in it is the touch buttons for the climate control.
It is annoying. These like analog-y stuff, and
analog would have worked much better, especially if you are on the move and you need to. I mean, everything it's quite, I mean, straightforward though, but I mean, just turning a knob or
still you need to
pressing a button or anything, that would have been just much easier, more user friendly. I mean, other than that, it drives well, feels good on the road. The thing about the Taigo, although it looks stylish and everything, but for me it's the same with driving the T-Cross or climbing inside of the facelifted Polo. It feels familiar. It feels Volkswagen, and I think it's good. I think it does what it says on the box, and I enjoy it.
I'm also thoroughly impressed with it. Are we gonna go back to our rating system? Okay, out of 5? 4.
We
Yay,
agree. We agree.
First time.
Apex, the peak of South African motoring.